Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-bam. Hello, people. We're going to start a little bit earlier tonight because why the hell not? How are we all doing tonight? I hope we are all well. It is the weekend, but it's going to feel weird because we don't play tomorrow. And it's going to throw my schedule completely off. Always does when we don't play on a Saturday. I get really thrown for a loop, and I don't like it. Don't like it at all. Hope we're all doing well. I like that Jim West, by the way, mate. We got Punky Chef. We're all the info he can glean. He owns a rowing machine. Punky Chef. I like that. Well done. How are you doing, Jim? I hope you're well, mate. I was about to say, before I start choking to death, I'm sounding a little bit better. I generally think I'm starting to sound a little bit better. Not like myself, but sound better. I still feel rotten as hell, which ain't great. Evening, love Hunter's opinion in the press conference. Very, very valid point. Yeah, I made the mistake of doing the press conference video when he's just woken up and I was just feeding him beforehand, and I gave him some food beforehand, and most of the food he ate fine and he was fine with. But then during the video, he decided to eat and talk at the same time. So he got some good opinions. I'll have whatever Jim's having 100% Ashley. I'm not too bad. I would say I'm about a 7. I'm about 8. High dipping for a while. I just feel today because it's been a long day with the boy. It's been very full on, but it's been good. It's been a good day. It's been nice to actually spend time with him and play with him. I've got him tomorrow as well, most of the day, which is going to be nice as well. Ruud van Nistelrooy is the Leicester City manager. God, I feel old. When players start getting managers jobs, I feel really old. And I now know what, like, some of my mates who dads I used to talk to about this feel. They used to go, oh, when players start becoming managers, you feel proper old. He ain't bloody wrong. I feel ancient now. But yeah, it's been an interesting week. We've got some good stuff sorted. Ian and Jim, I hope you're well, mate. Don't forget about Fat Frank Lampard. Yeah, he's at Coventry now. True. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting week, I feel, because if we can get a win versus Derby, it starts moving things a bit further forward. Let's put it that way. Because if we can start moving things a bit further forward, then it's good. What are you having? What are you having to eat? Hopefully we can start moving things a bit further forward in the league. Hopefully it can start getting players going. And the thing is, one of the things that I was really interested today in the press conference was the exact appointment of... Not appointment, I just read something. The exact talking about Give Us McNeil, Charlie. Give us McNeil! About how he is in the camp and what Danny's doing. And it was really interesting how he said they're both in that whole, it's a bad. They both want to try and figure out a way to get him to play. And it's actually interesting how he said, get him to play. And I thought it was interesting, the wording. Because as you've seen on social media, Charlie will post when he's in training and with the first team. And it looks like he's working really hard. Chili cheese. Oh, that sounds lovely. But it does sound like he's working really hard to get everything right and to sort it all right and get into the first team. And it was interesting how Danny was speaking about how the game coming up in winter, it's probably the time where you might see him the most. You might see him pop in a little bit more when we need extra players or something like that. And I really, really want to see how we get on. Barry, you just got an agenda against everything recently. I've noticed something. And every little thing there's agenda about something. I've noticed this recently. Think of what Danny said. Glass half full. You see the glass as half empty all the time. You always do. The thing is, mate, I don't think there's something adding up. I think he literally won for the future. No, I think he won for the future. You don't sign a 4-year contract not without you thinking you're going to be there long term. We've watched Charlie for the last 2 years. We've watched Charlie for the last 2 years. Something doesn't add up on that. In the terms, you wouldn't watch him for 2 years and then get him in. That's the thing for me, mate. I think he's one for the future. I don't think he was ever for the here and now. I generally don't think he was ever for the here and now. Kind of thing. I think he was one where we get him in now before someone else gets him. And maybe that doesn't work out and maybe we have to send him out on loan. But I generally do feel like... I generally do think there's a bit to it that there's got to be a reason. You wouldn't buy him if you didn't think he was good enough. Because he'd been at Wednesday before. Who behind the Sheffield Wednesday latest new daily channel? Bit of money in place. And they have... I don't know, mate. I've seen it. To be fair, it's clever. If you can get AI to do all that lot, it's very, very clever. Takes a bit away what I do. Kind of thing, which is annoying. But it is what it is. And if you're doing the daily stuff, it's very... what's the word I'm going to use? It's very hard to do. Let's put it that way. So you do need AI. Yeah, I saw that too. But I told about Vanessa. So, all right, mate, you come in, fine. It's fine. It just, I just don't like this thing where people automatically think that there's an issue. That's the thing. I don't like this thing where people automatically think just because a player's not playing that there's a problem or there's a falling out. It could be that he's just not ready for what we're wanting to do and why you want to send him out on loan. I don't know about you. Did you pick up anything on the interview, Barry, the press conference, that made it look like he was, he had an issue with him? For me, all I heard was it's a player who's on our books, who's working really hard, and we're trying to find the right game for him to play. But it could be me. It could be me. McNeil looked very small like when I walked past him on the training video. Did a bit, didn't he? There's only many places in the match day squad, I agree. He's definitely one for the future. Signed a 4-year deal with an extension another year. We're developing him. Could be that Cads and McNeil are 2 strikers for the year. True. Us fans want to know too fair. Won't know too fair. We won't. And the thing is, I don't think we should. I don't think clubs should and fans should know every little last detail that's happening with a club. I think it's dangerous to know the proper, fully ins and outs that got going to your club. I generally do. I think there's a part of it where you have to be very careful with it. But I was actually interested to see that it was Alex that brought up the question about McNeil and not a Rob Dayton. I thought it was going to be a Rob Dayton question, because it felt like a Rob Dayton question. I think a loan would do him a lot of good. Generally, I do. I think a loan would make a lot of sense. The problem you got is then people turn around and say the thing. Yeah, yeah, but he might say it's a sit down in January and go, right, I can't get you in my squad right now. Why don't we put you out on loan? Not saying there's an issue. Roll said he will sit down with him. Yeah, but that could be a case of let's sit down in January and figure out what's best for you going forward, i.e. a loan. I don't think you sign somebody on a 4-year deal with an extra option if you don't think there's a player there. I think that it's dumb if you do. Kind of thing. Fans always put 2 and 2 together, don't they? It's extremely dangerous if nothing was tied in a non-disclosure agreement. I'd be incredibly concerned. Yeah, I think the thing is, I think you've got to be really careful. If one player's not playing, don't automatically assume. Like, because I think there's a lot of past trauma. Jesus Christ, I sound American then. I think there's a lot of past trauma with Wednesday from when we had Sicko, when Marvin Johnson wasn't playing. So the moment someone's not playing, the immediate thing is, oh, there's something wrong. Oh, the father falling out. Oh, this has happened. I generally think there is something to do with that. Like, generally, I think there is something to do with that. Ian, Tom, hope you're well, mate. I generally think there is something to that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense to me, and that's in what you are looking at, because we got to be really smart about what we do in our net current signings, because I was excited to see Charlie McNeil, and I think the games that we've seen him in the Cup, I think he's been decent. I'll be honest with you, I think he's been doing really well. Cad's gone out, Wilk's gone out, I'd say McNeil out and work them. I think McNeil only goes out if we get another striker in. If we get a Prem striker in January, and I think that's where we're talking January comes. If they get another striker in, then it goes again. You got to remember, McNeil had played with Shea Pearce. I think he played with someone else as well when they were in the Man City Academy. And he played against as well. So it will be interesting to see what happened. But I wouldn't take... Don't take it as gospel if there's something not right. Put it that way. I wouldn't take it as a thing of falling out. If he got sold, I would take that as Danny can't fit him into how he wants him to play. Not a case of there's been a falling out. It's more he can't fit him into how he wants him to play. I think there's a way. We had this with a very good Reece James. Under which manager? Under Danny. Danny didn't rate Reece James, though. Danny didn't rate Reece James with how he wanted to play. And that's the other thing for me. I don't think Reece James suited it. And he was a player that was in for the sake of being in. Like, generally, I think he was in for the sake of being in. But again, Reece James was another one of the players that we had to try and fit into someone who didn't really rate him. And the other thing you've got to remember with it as well, the other thing you've got to remember with Reece James is it was someone he hadn't signed. This is a Danny player. This is someone who Danny signed. Reece James, you could take it as a bit of a doesn't fit with how he played. I thought Reece James was very good in League One. I didn't think he was up for Championship step up. I just didn't. Everything that he's ever done in Championship has not been great. I need to check something, actually. You got me talking about Reece James now. I want to see how many games they've played. There's something to be said with Reece James. If he played 14 and they played 16, why has he suddenly got dropped? But then again, Rotherham are just idiots at the minute. I don't get the whole situation with it because they're a mess. I've got a Rotherham fan I eat to on a daily kind of thing. But I think the thing is, let's not jump to any conclusion kind of thing. Oh, that's interesting. So, a player I love for us to get in on loan, Aston Villa are apparently planned to recall Louis Barry from Stockport in January and loan him into a Championship club. That's interesting. I'd be all over that if I were Wednesday. I know some people will go not proven in Championship level, but he got a decent number of goals in League One and League Two. I'd be all over that if we could get a deal for him. I'd just jump on that 100%. 100% be getting him if you can, because he is a cracking player. Really good talent. 33 people watching, 16 likes. Get those likes up, people. I much appreciate it. But yeah, I think we just got to be careful with who plays where. I think there've been some players who hasn't played as well, and they're still playing. I know a lot of people are going to go, oh, wrong one.
It's so well.
I think he got better over the last couple of games. The two injury concerns to Josh and Ugbo well is interesting, to say the least. I generally think that could be interesting to see what happens. I'd rather leave them out if you can and not risk them, especially Josh. I think Josh is The thing is, where does everyone fit with Josh? Is Josh a player that they like seeing in the team, or is it a player that he comes up for the big moment? Because I can't tell. Because I like Josh, but there are games where he goes really missing, and you don't hear about him unless he scores. Sorry, I missed that, Liz. I want to ask the question, has anyone got any Boxing Day tickets for the match? 4-0 win. I'm happy to pay for it. Cheers. Want it for an extra game. Have they gone on sale yet, Boxing Day tickets? I don't think Boxing Day tickets are on sale yet, are they? I could be wrong. I'll be honest with you, I haven't checked. Your bet. It all depends on how much you're willing to pay. Be careful. I'd just say that be very careful. I don't think they've gone on sale yet. I don't think Boxing Day tickets have gone on sale yet. Where's? I don't think they're up yet, so be careful with that one. When they go on sale, God, I generally don't think they're on sale yet. I haven't seen anything about the Boxing Day game yet. I could be wrong. I normally am. Bloody Bradley could be out for the season. He's done his hammy. He is a worldie. Yeah, it's a shame, really. He had a fantastic game. Did anyone take any advantage of any Black Friday deals, by the way? Oh, the old tickets. You want the old tickets? Wait, 4-0 went to United. Right. Oh, God. Hang on. Now I get what you mean. Sorry, I'm running on dial-up today. Let's have a look. Your best bet to be is eBay. Generally, your best bet is eBay. You'll struggle to get someone to part with that. You'll struggle to get someone to part with that 100%. And if you do part with it, it's gonna cost you an arm and a leg. I think it's gonna cost you more money than you wish to pay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where you would get it. Have a look. I probably got the ticket button. It's not for sale. Yeah. I did. I got some PlayStations or some giant side clothes cheap for my date on Sunday. Ooh, get you. Nice one, mate. Yeah, but what I'm saying is I don't know. I can imagine it being pricey. That's what I'm saying. Just be aware. Some people will want to sell that for big money. But I get what you're saying. Check some of the Facebook groups, Liz. Check some of the Facebook groups. Some of the Facebook groups will sometimes have people selling random stuff like that. So see them. I couldn't point you in a direction. Most people I know who've got them, keep them. And I've already got them framed. And I'm guessing that's what you're planning to do, is to frame it and give it as a gift kind of thing. I know people who've got it framed on walls. But one of the other things that I was interested about this week was how we set ourselves up. Now, we got the whole City manager sacked. We didn't get him sacked. He got himself sacked. But it was interesting watching how Danny handled that question in the press conference. I think there's a lot of things to be positive about this week, though. This week, there's a lot of things to be positive about. We go on a run. We could be brilliant. The program for Boxing Day probably easier to get, but again, not mine. Yeah. Could also try I'll talk but brace yourself. Yeah. But I think you need to set yourself the next games we got coming up. Derby, Blackburn, Preston. It's Lancashire, it's 2 Lancashire clubs and a Midland club. You've got a situation that you could set yourself to have a very, very good December. And Danny kind of hinted at what the kind of December you want to have because of the games in December and afterwards. He kind of was hinting that we might have a he got a target, basically. He got a target. He's not going to say where it is. I reckon if we can get mid-table and stick where we are, up and around it, mid-table, getting in another player like a striker and stuff like that on loan is going to be really handy. I think there'll be money made available for loan. I don't see anyone coming in with permanent. I think you have to start looking at contracts and start giving them out quickly and who you want it. I do not want to see Wednesday give out contracts right near the end of the window again. Or right near the end of the year. I want them all done. I want February, March to be the contract signing bit. We know who's staying, we know who's not. And then you can start building for the summer then. You don't have to worry about it. And that's something where you have to make sure you get the right deal for a player. So we're not paying over the odds, or if someone's, say, on a last year of a contract and they are a certain age, you look at it differently. And that's difficult because you're thinking those players are Palmer, Bannon, Smith, Johnson. Like Marvin Johnson, do you give another contract to, considering next season will be 34? Same with Michael Smith. Next season will be 34. Barry Bannon will be 36. Palmer will be 34. 33, I think. You look at how the ages of what it's going to be. And ideally, you want to start bringing that down. But the problem is, if you start bringing that down, you are looking at losing a lot of experience. Now, Barry made it very clear in some of the videos about looking for the next Barry Bannon. Now, we've been looking for the next Barry Bannon, I feel, for the longest time. I lost count how many times we said we need to get a next Barry Bannon. And we just haven't. I thought we had it. I generally thought we had it in Joe Byers. But Joe Byers was too injury prone for us. I thought we had it a little bit in Alex Hunt at one point, but he just couldn't kick on. A lot of people said maybe it's Rio Shipton. Again, haven't seen him kicked on yet or not been given a chance. We all looked at Liam Shaw as a potential, that's one that might be able to do it. Not kicked on. We definitely need to start looking for that next person like that. And it's going to take a long... I'm going to say it's going to take a long time, but it's taken a long time for us to find this next player. And it's not as easy as just saying, this player here, it's got to make sure. I think if we do it, it needs to be someone who comes in at the same age of what Barry Bannon was when he came to us at 26. 25, 26. A lot of time to grow with us then and then improve. And it all depends on where we end up being. Like, if you look at our market value is about 1.3 million in terms of that. And our total market value, 34 million. I did say Ingleson. I forgot about Ingleson. Maybe around Feb, March, I'll try and remind you, could we do a dream as how the team is and who the yes and no. Yeah, we'll do that, mate. That's a good idea. I did say Ingleson. Yeah, I did say Ingleson got that potential. So maybe we've already got it in Ingleson. But for me, we need to see Ingleson start week in, week out a little bit as well. But I'll be honest with you, I don't know what Ingleson's contract is. I don't know if it was a long term. Because shock and all, when they don't let people know sometimes what the contracts are. We did this year, which was weird, because I know Olaf have got a 4-year. Hang on. Transfers. I did say Ingleson, though. You're all right on that one. Ingleson. What is Ingleson's contracts? situation. We don't know. Brilliant. His full name is Svante Ulslus Ingolson. So he's Ingolson. Nice. It'd be good to know what the actual contract situation is. But Ingolson could do it. I think there's a part of me that think Ingolson would have a very good chance of that. And being able to do it. Loan, what about Edwards for central defence? Possibly for the loan young and good. Yeah, I heard a lot of people look at that one. There's going to be a lot of people after him. There's going to be a lot of people after him. Never likely to happen given our bit of history, but Casey Palmer, Coventry, now Hull. I think he's going to end up doing quite well to whoever comes in at Hull. Because it seems like wherever he's gone, he's had a falling out with manager. And then the new manager come in and played him, done really well. I'm thinking Bristol, Coventry, and now Hull. And the interview he did to, I think it was ITV. I think it was ITV for Hull area, Humberside. Was interesting because a lot of people said this is the same interview we've seen from him time and time again when things are not going right. But yeah, I would like to see us potentially get someone in. Maybe it is Ed Ingolson. Maybe it is someone else. Because you got to remember, Ingolson got our player of the month in August. So we know what he can do. He's a good player there. So far, he's had 12 appearances for Wednesday, actually. Some of those are cup games, but he has had a decent amount of appearances so far. And I think he's just snatching a little bit of a goal. But it's a good shout, Barry. It is a very, very good shout with it all. But I'm intrigued to see what when they do with looking at a certain player, such as like a Barry Bannon, who next, or something of that nature. Because it's been a long time since I feel like we've had someone be able to step up to that man and be the next person. And we need to start looking. It needs to be something that gets done sooner than later, because we can't go into another summer where we don't know who's next. So it'll be interesting. The new lad who just come in, Junior Kamawa, is a really good player. Attacking, skillful player. Looks like he's a bit of a beast. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on there. Ian in GFWC, I'm all right. How are you, mate? Bit nasally and throaty, but apart from that, I'm good. But yeah, I'm generally intrigued to see when they do in the next window. I would say, I'm gonna say now that two centre backs and a striker. I think that's what we need. What do you think? What do you guys think we need? I generally think it's two centre backs and a striker is what we need to get us going again. And if that's the case, I think that will be really good. But again, it's Cat 22. Give me a minute. I just need to clear my throat. I hate the cold. It's horrible. Fusing the youth squad maybe could step up to Bannon, but maybe that's a good shout as well. Just had a rough day, unfortunately. One of them bad days. Oh, I'm sorry, mate. Suck when you have those bad days. Hopefully you can try and forget about it while being in the stream. But I will be interested to see what Danny got in mind. I still think it's two centre backs and a striker though, because I think we're just a little bit short of the back. I like a playmaker, but I don't know how realistically that is if you get Olaf back at the end of the year. Because if Olaf comes back at the end of the year, I think you look a little bit more set. Centre bit, good goal poacher and a free kick specialist. That's a good shout. If we are in a good position in January, then the summer window will be the main one for signing players for top 6. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, Barry. I agree with that. 9-1 hot to no way we'll get 2 centre backs. Bringing Robbie, somebody's already given that shout. GSWC, it's a good shout. If we're in I think the thing is, depending on where we are and how tight the league is, there's a possibility we know what we're like come end of January runs. End of January runs, we go on really good one from about end of Feb to end of March. And if we go on a run like we did last season's run, if we were mid-table, would have got us in playoffs. Like, generally would have got us in playoffs. And I think we're starting to play some good football at times. Our biggest problem is getting the chances that we're making in the goal. Because if you look at our chance creation and look at having 16 shots, there's a case to be said, if we were clinical, we'd be up there right now. We'd generally be up there a little bit. I think if we were clinical and we were a bit more defensively solid, we'd probably be up there. It does feel a little bit at time with the chances we're having because we're not taking them. At the car last season, where it used to be, if they score, whoever scores next wins. We had a lot of like 3-2s and 2-1s and stuff like that because we have a loss in concentration, but then managed to find a winner. And I think we need to start having that level. Because don't get me wrong, there were times versus Hull where I was very, very worried about... I was very, very worried about Hull. Because they were looking really good and attacking really well and playing some good football. So I was very worried that they were going to eventually score. But they had that kind of look about them. But it just didn't, they just couldn't materialise it. And I think a team who has a lot of chances, we could have been in a bigger problem. Like a Norwich situation. But we have to try and figure it. The Owls are playing good football in possession. I think it's out of possession where we sometimes struggle a little bit. Just having to break it down. I think there are times where we are at times not passing the ball as well or as easy as I liked. I liked some of the passing to be a bit more fluid and a bit more on target, but there's a lot of positives right now. Like, I genuinely want us to make sure we get someone like a Valentine contract sorted ASAP. He's the kind of player we could lose in January. Not at the end of the season, kind of thing, but already have a pre-season contract signed somewhere else. And I think Valentine's been absolutely fantastic pickup. One of the shining light from Muniz. Also, talking about Muniz, Sicko got sacked this week. I don't know how many people saw it. He lost his job. And it goes to show what we kind of all thought. He is very much come in, stabilise. Then once he's stabilised, he can't seem to get past the next level. His job has always been to go into places, get on playing well for the first bit, get the job long term, and then doesn't get it after that. So I think that's just how he is as a manager. He's a good firefighter for starters, and then goes down. We didn't see anything that made us look decent. But I think we have to start looking at January as a positive, especially if we're up and around mid-table, and especially with how tight the league is. Like, we got 22 points. This time last season, I think we only recently registered our first win. And I think we got that 1-1 with Leicester this time last season. That what's the word? Stabilized us a little bit. Bring him in as a scout, yep. Went to take a team 4th. Seems a bit harsh unless I've gone mad. Let's have a look, mate. Go Nunez. Let's see where his team was. I'm pretty sure you were right. Let's have a look. God, it's a weird naming team. So where are they? Yeah, they are 4th. They're 4th in the league, so does seem a little bit mad. Can I translate this, please? It seemed like it was a shock for them all. Google Translate. The only thing I can think is there's a bit of falling out. That's all I can think of. Have a look. Weird. Yeah, they were 4th. So I can only think maybe just something not worked. He steadied the ship, and then maybe they want somebody to come in and complete it. We'd done it before, where we'd had somebody come in and steady it, and then we pulled the rug out. Come on, we did it a little bit with Darren. Darren was our steadying of the ship. If you looked at it, 2-year building something, and then come to do it, and it doesn't work out for it. So it's interesting. It's always difficult when a club sacks a manager when they're doing well. It always makes you wonder, had there been a falling out, or had there been something said, or has someone come on their radar that they wanted before him, and that person's now available. So yeah, it's always interesting when they sack a manager like that. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see what we bring in, and let's be honest with ourselves. Nobody wants to remember that Sicko era. That Sicko era. The only grateful thing about that Sicko era was we got Danny in, and that was it really. And Valentine, and Masaba, and Gassama. They were some of the highlights, and there wasn't a lot more after that. Let's be honest. But yeah, I'm gonna end it there. 45 minutes have been a decent one. Because my voice is slowly going again. There'll be a preview tomorrow. There'll be a watch along on Sunday. Remember, it's a 3 o'clock kickoff. It is a 3 o'clock kickoff. Please remember that. We're playing decent football, but lightweight in some areas. Derby are very direct, very physical. First goal is important. They already got fans on their back. Yeah, if we can get the first goal, it'll be fantastic. Our big thing in the game versus Derby is not to give away any stupid free kicks. Do not give any stupid free kicks or fouls away. If you can keep set pieces away from them, it'd be fantastic. Got to try and keep Jerry Yates quiet as well. Very good, having a good bell at the minute. Very, very fit team. We don't have an excellent record of Pride Park either. I think we barely won there. I generally don't think we've actually had our mid to first half. Watch all my kids did playing. No way, mate. Remember to get your advent calendars. Yep. Head to head. Preview meetings. There we go. So we got a 0-0 at Derby last year. A 0-0 on the 21st. We won on the 23rd. They won 39, we won 27, and there've been 27 draws, and there've been 93 played. Yeah, I think it was 08-09 season that we won. It's the longest time we have a record at Pride Park. Have a look. Let's see if I can find it. Penalty 2000 and Pride Park. Have a look. 3-0, 3-0. 3-2, 0-0. I'm looking at all the home ones, and they've all been like 2-1 wins. A lot of draws. It's a game we draw a lot. Have a look. 2-2, 2-1. Yep. No, it's later. The last win at Pride Park, I think it's later. I think it was 2006. I think it was 2006. The last time we won at Pride Park was the Durk era. So if I go back now, 1-0. Yeah, 2006 is the last time we won at Derby County. That is the longest time for us to not have a win. So post-Durk era. Glad we done them a lot in and made it even better for the manager who gets that right after. Yep. We'll take a point Sunday. Yep. We do tend to take a lot of points against them. But 2006, it was the year, if I remember correctly, it was the year they nicked the bounce song. Hang on. Let's have a look. More information. Lineup not found. Okay. I'll find it. Give me a minute. 2-1. If you want the teams, it was Graham Coughlan, Kenny Lunt, Dion Burton, O'Brien, Glenn Whelan, Marcus Tudgay, Frankie Simmet, Chris Brun, Bagheera, Tommy Burr, Chrissy Anderson, Chris Adamson, Bullen, McLean, Talbot, and Court and McAllister were all on the bench. Have a look here. Oh, I still can find it. If I can find it. I remember it very, very clearly. But yeah. It a long time since we played. Long time since we played. It's that old. That was when it was the Coca-Cola Championship. A proper bygone era of the day. Proper old school fixture. So it'll be interesting. It will be interesting to see what we can do. But 2006, that's your just coming up from League One. Post-Durk era. So yeah, a long time ago. Yep. It was an 18th we won at Preston, but we put that to right. Yeah, true. Records are made to be broken when it comes to old times where you've not won or anything like that. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of those things where you also look at the situation with Cardiff. Like going, oh, a Cardiff manager going to get the job, and they go 1 win, and you go, oh, we know where that win came at, kind of thing. It kind of like you look at it and you go, oh, for God's sake. But I'll be interested to see when they do. I think there's a big chance to get something if we play smart. We got to play smart, and we cannot for the life of us give away stupid free kicks. You can't. Danny will make history again as normal. We'll win on Sunday. You watch. I'll take it, Nathan. I'll take it 100%. Right, I am calling it a night. I'm gonna go watch some YouTube stuff myself and go chill out for the rest of the evening and try and get my voice back, because I've got my little boy all day tomorrow. So that's going to be a fun one. So I need to make sure I am all ready for that. So thank you for watching, and I will